My wife asked me to clean out the attic. In a box labeled Tax Returns 2003, I found 200 handwritten job rejection letters, all addressed to me, that I never received. 2003 was the year I disappeared. Not physically. I was there, sitting at the kitchen table every morning with coffee I barely touched. But the man I used to be, the one with plans, with momentum, with a reason to get dressed, he was gone. I'd been unemployed for 30 months, 2.5 years. I applied to everything. Hundreds of jobs, senior roles, entry level, desperation plays. I sent my resume into the void over and over again, and I got nothing back. Silence. Total, suffocating silence. No rejection, no acknowledgement, not even an automated reply. Just nothing, like I didn't exist. That silence nearly killed me. Not the unemployment, the silence. Because when nobody tells you no, your brain tells you something worse, that you're not even worth rejecting, that you're invisible, that the world looked at your name and didn't care enough to respond. My wife, Claire, held everything together. She worked doubles. She paid the mortgage. She sat across from me every night and said, "The right one is coming. It's just delayed." I believed her because I had nothing else to believe. In 2005, I got hired. Good company. Good role. I rebuilt from there. Built a career. Built a life. Left 2003 in a box I never wanted to open until last Saturday. Claire asked me to clean the attic. I was moving old boxes when I found one in the back corner behind the Christmas decorations. Brown cardboard. Dusty. Her handwriting on the side. Tax returns 2003. I pulled the lid off. No tax returns. Letters. Stacked neatly. Rubber banded in groups of 20. All addressed to me. All from companies I'd applied to between 2002 and 2004. I opened the first one. "Thank you for your application. Unfortunately, we have decided to move forward with other candidates." The second. Same. The third, the 10th, the 50th. 200 rejection letters. Every company I applied to had replied. Every single one. They weren't ignoring me. They said no, clearly. Formally, on letterhead. I never saw a single one, because Claire woke up every morning at 5:30, 30 minutes before me, walked to the mailbox in her robe, sorted through the mail, and removed every envelope that looked like a rejection for 2.5 years. Every single morning. She intercepted 200 letters and buried them in a box in the attic and never said a word. I was sitting on the attic floor, shaking, when she found me. She climbed the ladder, saw the open box, saw the letters in my hands. She didn't panic. She just sat down across from me on the dusty plywood and waited. "Why?" I said. She was quiet for a long time, because every time a rejection came, in the beginning, before I started hiding them, you stopped eating. For 2 days, sometimes 3. You wouldn't talk, you wouldn't shower. You'd sit in the dark and I could see you disappearing. After the 15th letter, I read a sentence in your journal you never knew I saw. She paused. It said, "What's the point of trying if the answer is always no?" Her voice cracked. So I started hiding them. I hid 200 reasons for you to quit so you would keep believing the right yes was just delayed, that the silence meant they hadn't decided yet, not that they'd already said no. I sat there holding 20 years of hidden rejection and tried to understand the size of what she'd done. Then I found one letter separate from the rest, paper-clipped, highlighted in yellow, from the company that eventually hired me in 2005, dated 2003. It read, "You are not a fit for our current needs, but we encourage you to reapply in the future as your qualifications are strong." She'd read that letter, noted the company, and 18 months later casually mentioned over dinner that she'd heard good things about a place that was hiring. Suggested I apply, like a random thought. It wasn't random. She'd been reading my rejection letters like intelligence reports. She identified the one company that left the door open and waited for the right moment to push me toward it. She engineered my career from a box in the attic. I looked at her. "My entire career is built on a lie." She reached across the dusty floor and took my hand. "No, your career is built on your talent. Your resume got you the job. Your work kept it. I just made sure the noise didn't drown out the signal." It took me weeks to process. Some days I was angry, some days grateful, most days both. What she did was manipulative, dishonest. It also saved my life. I remember exactly who I was in 2003. I remember the journal entry she read. If I had opened 200 envelopes that all said the same thing, I would not have kept going. Last weekend, I went back to the attic. I took a black Sharpie and crossed out Tax Returns 2003. Underneath, I wrote, "The reason I'm still here."